The freezing wind bit at my face as I looked around at the dozens of boats floating across the Delaware River, pushed forward by the soldiers under my command. And each one looked utterly exhausted, their ragged uniforms doing little to protect them from the deadly chill. I looked at their faces and could see hopelessness and despair in their eyes. And who could truly blame them? We had been fighting. They had been dying for months now. And what was there to show for it? Naught but several catastrophic defeats and thousands of dead brothers, fathers, and sons. The only option we had left was this upcoming surprise attack. And if that failed, we might as well have lost the war. That's why this plan has to work. It has to work! My musings were brought to an end by a thunderous boom which echoed across the sky. A thunderstorm? In the dead of winter? A strange development, but I could feel my troops' morale drop even further as they began to panic at this ill omen. I seek to establish order once more, but a drummer boy on the same boat as I pointed to the horizon in a panic. My God! What is that? I looked forward, and a bright orange light revealed the true source of the panic. A mass of bright colors now filled our vision and blocked our path to the far shore, brimming with energy as I grew larger, and to my own horror, got closer. Turn the boats around! Quickly! But it was already too late. The mass overwhelmed us with ease and sent us into worlds unknown. I stood firm as the stench of death assailed my nose. I stood firm as I heard the endless cries and animalistic screeches emanating from the mass of fur and metal in the distance. And yet, I was terrified. I heard of the battles that took place further out in the farmlands which surrounded Springfield, and I've experienced the ferocity and savagery of these vermin as they've tried to break through our lines these past few weeks. I've seen my brothers-in-arms be torn apart in a tide of fur, claws, and metal. But I knew that we were all that now stood between these beasts and the city of Springfield, the last line of defense safeguarding our parents, our wives, and our children. So retreat was not an option. I looked to my men standing around me, their faces conveying the same fear that I myself felt, despite the thousands of us that now aided in the city's defense. I and the rest of my regiment had prayed for a miracle, something that would give us the strength and hope to resist this vermintide. And it was now, as this final battle drew near, that a miracle was granted. It started as mere whispers, then gradually escalated to cries of amazement, causing me to turn my attention towards the source of this disturbance, and I dropped my sword in shock. Riding in between the columns of infantry, on the most magnificent white steed, was General Washington himself. He was alive! And if the column of marching troops in the distance wasn't an illusion, he brought reinforcements. Truly a miracle from God. The cheers of the men were quickly silenced by the general as he spoke. Who commands this force? I stepped forward in response, picking up my sword as I get his attention. That would be me, sir. Colonel Tobias Ford. All the other officers are dead. I see. Can you tell me how many of these rats we are dealing with? 10,000 at least, sir. There may well be many more. Well, it seems I got here just in time, then. Seemingly satisfied by my answers, he orders me back into formation as he tugs on the reins and turns to address the main army. Sons of America, today we stand in defense of our homes against horrors beyond imagination. But do not give in to fear, for the cause we fight for is greater than anything they could hope to achieve. So stay true to your brothers and keep your aim steady, and we shall emerge victorious this day! A resounding cheer echoed from the troops as we began to march forward, meeting the sudden charge of the vermin. As the distance was closed, I steel myself as my men ready their muskets, and I give the order. Fire! The woodlands of America were certainly a sight for sore eyes. The knowledge that their families were safe, a much-needed relief for my men and for myself. But our time lost in the other worlds opened my eyes to foes far worse than the vermin we vanquished today. Monsters in human form, which embody the worst evils imaginable. We all know that as long as they exist, our families, our countrymen, could never be truly safe. So we could not stay. But I do not despair at the coming wars, for I know we do not stand alone. From the Swedish Karelians who march into battle, unfazed by any horror that stands against them, to a most unexpected ally in the British Redcoats. No matter what fate brings us, I know we shall emerge triumphant. We have to, for America is counting on us.